So we have to start with some party political news.
Well, the regional executives of 3 regions, namely the Central, Eastern and Volta regions of the opposition New Patriotic Party, have passed a vote of no confidence in the party's chairman and general secretary. The decision was taken Monday at a meeting held concurrently in all regions. Ashanti and the northern regions are yet to take any such decision. Chairman Paul Afoko and General Secretary Kwabena Japong have been accused of dividing the party, a situation many believe have led to the action by regional executives of the 3 regions. The mysterious death of the Upper East Regional Chairman of the party, Adams Mahama, who was attacked with acid, appear to have hastened the demand for the resignation of the 2. Even though the 2 have not been directly connected to the death of the deceased person, critics cite an altercation between Mahama and the 2 national executives, which led to a botched meeting called by the 2 national executives in the Upper East region.
The 2 were conspicuously missing at the funeral and burial of the late Mahama. What was evident, though, was an army of placard-wielding youth demanding the resignation of the 2 embattled leaders. In a related development, the former General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, Nana Ohidinto, is accusing loyalists of the party's flag bearer, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, of plotting an impeachment process against the chairman and the General Secretary of the party.
Well, Nana Ohidinto says the impeachment process against Paul Afoko and Kwabena Japong is, quote, symptomatic of a bigger problem that needs to be addressed. Regional executives across the country have begun an impeachment process against the 2 party leaders they accuse of being divisive elements within the party.
A meeting in the Ashanti region, ostensibly to pass a vote of no confidence in the 2 members, ended inconclusively, with some regional executives reportedly walking out of the meeting. According to Nana Ohidinto, loyal elements to the party's flag bearer, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, are the ones scheming behind the scenes to have the 2 men impeached, while stating that there's no basis for any such impeachment process against the 2 leaders as yet.
And we're still staying with the subject of the NPP because the office of the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party has distanced itself from allegations the party's flag bearer may have sanctioned some regional meetings to consider proposals for the impeachment of the party's chairman and General Secretary.
A statement signed by the Press Secretary Eugene Ahin reads that the office attention has been drawn to a story on page 19 of May 25, 2015's edition of the Daily Graphic titled "Regional Chairman Plan to Oust Afoko Japong," and the import of the Daily Graphic report seemed to portray that Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo as having sanctioned the regional executive committee meetings despite an earlier agreement with the national chairman to hold a national executive committee meeting on the same day, Monday, May 25, 2015.
Well, the statement says the impression is totally wrong, flawed and mischievous. As a general rule, Nana Akufo-Addo, the statement says, does not like to engage in media commentary on internal NPP matters, but having regard to the importance of the issues at stake. The statement also adds that the facts of the matter bear no responsibility whatsoever for the convening of the regional executive committee meetings. Nana Akufo-Addo wants the membership of the NPP to understand that he continues to work for understanding and unity in the party.
We'll see how that goes, because there have been a number of independent reactions to the ongoing saga.
A political science lecturer, Dr. Bosman Asari, says the opposition New Patriotic Party acted too quickly by convening regional meetings which sought to impeach the national chairman and general secretary.
Well, the 3 regions, Central, Eastern and Volta, have already passed the vote of no confidence in the embattled chairman and general secretary. He was speaking on the latest development within the NPP on today's Big Story.
I think that it is premature for the party to do that. I think they should allow the investigative agencies to really do their work so that the evidence will be there that the 2 have been involved in certain things completely unacceptable. And I think so soon, and the party coming out that they no longer have the confidence in these two individuals. I think it's not the best for the NPP and it's not the best for the parties involved, the National Council as well as the General Secretary and the party chairman. It could be several factors that have been put together, but what climaxed everything was the death of Mr. Adams Mahama. And I think as a political party, usually you want to make sure that your structures are working, the chairperson, the General Secretary. But the bigger issue has to do with the fact that if there is back and forth between the General Secretary, the party chairman on one hand, and other executives and the flag bearer on the other hand, I don't think it is so bad for the political party. But normally we want a situation whereby, I know within the constitution of the NPP, the party chairman is supposed to be the leader of the party. But we know once the party has a flag bearer, the flag bearer assumes the position of the leader of the party. So I expect that the party chairman and the flag bearer will find some common ground, some ways and means to be able to do things together.
So we'll bring you a lot more updates on the subject now. We turn our attention to health.
A total of 140 suspected Ebola cases in Ghana tested between March last year to date at the Noguchi Memorial Institute proved negative.
Well, the Ebola threat to Ghana, though, remains high since the country is located in the midst of others that had recorded cases of the disease with some fatalities. Last month, the health minister said the government, through the ministry and other related agencies, had put in place a number of preventive, repositioning and containment strategies against the possible outbreak of the disease in the country.
Well, one of such programs is the testing of Ebola vaccines expected to be conducted at the School of Public Health in Hohoi in the Volta region. Here's our correspondent Fred Kwame Asari, who came through with this report.
The Ebola vaccine test is being undertaken under the School of Public Health of the University of Health and Allied Sciences in Hohoi. It involves some researchers in and outside the country, some scientists, and then some students as well. But then as we speak, sponsors of the exercise must initiate the Ebola vaccine test before it commences. So as we speak, the program has not started yet. And then it also has to be approved. But as we speak, or however, announcements have been made for volunteers to register and then be part of the exercise. The information I gathered says that some people are willing to undertake this, but then the registration too has not taken place yet. But then announcements have been made. So after the program is initiated by the sponsors, then registration and then other aspects of the exercise will commence. I spoke to one lecturer at the University of Health and Allied Sciences, the public health school in Hohoi, and then what he or she tells me is that they are trying to put up a good package for the volunteers, people that will come out and then make themselves available.
The people of Daboya, a farming community in the newly created North Gonja district of the Northern region, have asked government to, as a matter of urgency, construct a bridge over the Daboya River to facilitate the transportation of farm produce from the area to market centers.
Well, they say failure of government to construct that bridge has also resulted in a perennial needless loss of lives of traders and school children.
The Daboya River has cut off over 25 farming communities in the district from the northern regional capital, Tamale. Communities such as Mankarigu, Bisa, Singa, Barigu and Yagbong, among others, go through a lot of inconveniences to transport their farm produce and also access health care in the capital. Over the years, dozens of farmers, traders and school children have drowned in the river in their attempt to cross to Tamale. The most recent was when 5 people, including 2 children of the former district police commander of the area, drowned. Residents are worried about this perennial issue.
You can see that we are here, Daboya number 1, but you can't cross to Daboya because of the river. When you get to Tale, that's Tolong district. This is Daboya number 1. That's if you reach here, you see that Daboya is near, but you are seeing people at Daboya here, you are seeing everything. But because of the river, the bridge is not there. You can't go.
The absence of the bridge also affects the education of school children, especially when the river overflows its banks during the rainy season. Even as it is not in the rainy season, some teachers have tasked themselves with daily additional responsibility of moving to the riverside to ensure that school children from cut-off communities cross the river safely. Jamani Hudu is a teacher of WRDA Primary School.
Each and every day I come to the riverside to make sure that my children from the other bank of the Boya cross safely. So this is another responsibility to me. Every day I make sure that I come here to make sure that our children cross safely.
Apart from the people exposing themselves to the danger of crossing the river, bad road network to the district is also another issue. A 30-kilometer untarred road from the riverside to the next district, Tolong, makes commercial drivers unwilling to ply the road. Yusuf Zakari is a commercial driver.
When you do maintenance today, it's likelihood that tomorrow you have to do another maintenance, which means that the small amount that you are getting, you are going to use it for maintenance. So people don't profit and their profit earners, they want to also get something for themselves.
District Chief Executive for North Gonja, Seku Kasim Yahuza, says the district finds it extremely difficult to attract professionals to the area due to the danger the river poses to the people.
We are making a passionate appeal to the government that government should consider constructing a bridge over the White Volta, and then the road from Tolong through Tare should not end at Tare.
Northern Regional Director of the Ghana Highway Authority, Ajay Kranchi, tells Joy News the Ministry of Roads and Highways is working to secure funds to construct a bridge across the river. Until the situation is solved, parents, teachers and pupils would have to continue to maneuver around the perennial danger they are exposed to.
A move by the Energy Commission to eliminate uncertified electricians may not materialize without proper monitoring systems.
Well, that is the concern of some practitioners in Kumasi who believe the Commission should go beyond media campaign if it wants to ensure standard house wiring regime. They suggest formation of special security patrol teams to work with local people to flush out quacks. Here's our correspondent's report.
Many Ghanaians believe electrical faults account for more than half of fire-related disasters in the country. Out of 3,783 fire incidents recorded last year, 202 people died and 869 were injured. 1,620 domestic, 89 industrial and 512 vehicular fire outbreaks were reported over the period, out of which 70% was blamed on faulty electrical wiring. Though there is considerable decline in the rate of fire incidents this year, there are concerns much more needs to be done to completely curb such occurrences. Ernest Agri is one of many concerned citizens who want the Energy Commission to set up preventive measures as he and his peers gear up to intensify the fight.
Cable metal is the right material for the work, but you take the money for the cable metal and buy different material. And that material, if you try with a certain gadgets, it can cause fire outbreak. But whilst you are taking something from the better material that you're supposed to buy, the person can use to buy the different, if I say, I can say an inferior material.
Meanwhile, the Energy Commission and some certified electricians have staged a march to create public awareness on the electrical wiring regulation, LI 2008 of 2011. It spells out requirements for eligibility for persons who can wire residential and commercial buildings. Buildings wired by uncertified persons will not be connected to the national grid. Victor Owusu is the public relations manager of the Energy Commission.
People invest a lot in buildings, whether it's residential, whether it's commercial, whether it's industrial. And so you've got to get people who are good in electrical wiring. You've got to get the right materials too. Otherwise, if your property becomes engulfed in fire as a result of poor workmanship or as a result of inferior cables, it means your investment will have gone to ruins.
And that's it for the news for the morning.
Yeah, it's brought to us by Coca-Cola. For more news, though, please do log on to myjoyonline.com.